Hello again. Okay, so just continuing on with what to do. What if you fit into all those categories? What if you have low self-esteem? What if you have low self-worth? What if you have low self-love? And you're on the floor and you feel bad and you don't know what to do and you can't see a future and the past is absolutely killing you. What do you do? Well, the first thing that you've got to do, and listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. This is very important. The first thing that you must do is acknowledge it. What does that mean? That's a long word. You have to understand that you have a problem and you have to admit that you have a problem. The biggest problem that we have in our society today is what's the word? And I'm talking in the UK. Maybe in United States, people are a lot more open-minded to having I'm going to see my therapist or whatever. Okay, but you must admit to having a problem. What I believe is this firmly now, having worked for the last 6, 7, 8 years with people. And with myself, what I realise is this: not only ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, but everybody has stuff that they need to resolve. Everybody. Why? This here is nothing more than a vehicle that carries us through our life. Okay? It's just like a car that takes us on a journey through life. Now, think about your car. If you have a car, or if you had a car, okay? If you bought a car and then you started to run it every day, without fail, you ran it backwards and forwards to work, used it every day, and you did nothing to the car. You didn't put any oil in, you didn't check anything, you didn't change anything, you didn't change the tyres, you did nothing to the car. What would happen? What would happen is that after a while the car would stop. It would break down. Okay? Why is that? Because, like anything, things need to be attended to. Because we have a law called the law of chaos, where everything becomes chaotic unless it is attended to. Even if you bought a car and stood it outside your door and did nothing for a couple of years, when you went out to try and start it, it wouldn't start. The brakes would be bound on, the engine would be seized, nothing would work. The doors mightn't open, they get seized. Why? Because unless you are maintaining something, it falls into disrepair. Why is it then that people spend more money, attention and time on maintaining their cars than they do their own selves? Why? Because we're frightened. We're frightened that if we go to see somebody for help, we're frightened that they might find out that we are horrible people. If we go to see a hypnotherapist, he might find out the dreadful truth about us. Okay? We're frightened because going to see somebody for help would be admitting that there was something wrong, admitting that we are broken. And that seems to be such an impediment for us. We don't want to admit that we're broken. Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. I'm fine, me. No, I just get along. Okay? And all of the world, we're all stumbling along, dragging behind a leg, and therapy is like putting your car in for a service. There's nothing we don't get embarrassed about having to take our car to the garage. We don't go, I've got to take my car to the garage tomorrow. Oh God, I'm so embarrassed. The car's not working right. We just say, taking the car to the garage, got to be serviced, things you've got to do. Why is it that we can't do that with our own selves? All right, so that's the first thing that you need to do, is admit, recognize that you've got a problem. It's okay. you are allowed to have problems, eh? In life, shit happens. Shit happens to us. And the bigger people, and if you want to be a big person, then the big people are the ones that recognize it and say, I'm going to do something about it, because I cannot continue dragging myself through this life. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And so all you need to do is just decide to take some action. Is therapy expensive? Depends. It depends. But I'm going to tell you this. Therapy is not having 500 sessions, 50 sessions with somebody. If you are having 50 sessions with somebody, there's something wrong with the therapy. There's something wrong with that therapist. That therapist is using you as their meal ticket. Okay? I've had people come to me who have spent years going to the same therapist, and I say to them, so are you better now? Oh no. And I think, what have they been doing? For 2 years, 3 years, what have you been doing? I don't know. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's I'm not going to criticize other people. Listen, if you find a good therapist and somebody who's really genuine and somebody who has a genuinely good, efficient technique, then in 3 to 5 sessions you should be sorted. You should be in a better place, ready to move on. Okay? I've worked now with couples or by internet with Skype. I've done therapy with Skype and helped a couple who really were both ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and who their past was causing them problems in the present. Okay? What a surprise. Everyone's got the same issue. The past, until you sort it out, will constantly come and affect your present. You need to sort it out. You need to get the past where it ought to be, in the past. And what's happening is everyone's living in the light of reflected action. Everybody's living as though what happened 20 years ago is still happening now, and it's the truth. It is still happening now. Everybody's just running over and over and over the same old ground. And this has got to stop. You've got to realise, do the work and allow the past to be the past. The past has a job. The past is this. The past is a reference so that you know what happened in the past, and you can make a decision going forward to the future, and a decision in the now to say, based on my experience, this is a good path and this is a bad path. So the past does help us. The past helps us to learn.